So, well, fun. Okay, welcome everybody. I want to know, what was your workout today? Don't all scream at the same time.
Oh, we went on a small hike. That was about it.
Before you left.
I said we were on a small. We went on a small hike. That was about it. And then packing and unpacking the trailer. So
That's a good workout, actually. That's your weight training for the day.
Yeah.
Okay, who else?
I'm gonna go swimming, but we're not gonna do it till later. We're waiting till 8 o'clock tonight.
Okay. All right, to go get your 30-minute swim in.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I did 1 kilometer sprints in the heat.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
The heat and the humidity. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty, but it's simulating Hyrax prep. So I was supposed to get each kilometer in under 4 minutes, and I definitely hit like 4:15, and it was consistent, which I was really happy with, despite getting really dizzy. But but it was a really good workout. Honestly, it took my mind off of everything that's happening right now in my world, and like I totally forgot about everything for 50 minutes, and it was wonderful.
That right there is why we work out. Like honestly, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have that time for myself where I can just dig deep and like let go of everything and just let all of it come out in the push and the workout, right? Like it's, I don't know how people don't work out. Like I honestly don't. I know it sounds silly, but like that is where you let go of all the crap, feels so good.
Yeah,
So,
and for me personally, I haven't been able to let go of that on any run I've done recently. So today, just being like, oh my God, I'm dying, instead of thinking about everything else, I was thinking about like how bad I felt and how much I was dying. So
yeah, because
it was a nice break.
Maybe like a zone 2 run, you would just focus on everything. But like if you're dying, so that there's another good lesson learned from Kaylin today is if you're dealing with issues and stress, kill your workout. Like don't just go on a nice, easy bike ride, like do something hard. I like it. Okay, who else? What was your guys' workout today?
I'm quarantined with COVID, so no workout for me, but I'm excited to get out eventually.
Your workout has been coughing. You've been coughing a lot.
A lot of coughing. Yeah.
He's like building his 6-pack just in this weird coughing way. I'm sorry, Jason. That sucks. I hope you're feeling better though.
Thanks.
Okay, who else? Because the day's not over. It's 5. Still get your workout in. Carrie, what was your workout today?
I have not worked out yet today.
It's 5. You have plenty of hours.
Yep.
You have plenty of time to get it in and let all of the issues go right into your workout, right? Okay, Mark, what about you?
Be heading in to teach classes tonight, sparring night, so I'll get 2 hours of sparring. So lots of sweat.
We have got to get Mark on the Zoom call to teach us some karate, you guys. Oh my heavens.
On Zoom, but we're thinking that.
I like really want to learn. So do my kids. So anyway, we've said that lots of times. I got to do something about it. Okay, let's get into our 2 topics today, intermittent fasting. And I want to dive a little deeper into protein. You guys, I want to emphasize a couple things with protein, but intermittent fasting. Okay, why you guys have it all on your trackers in some way, shape, or form. But why? And is it beneficial for everybody? And is it going to do the same things for everybody? No, it's not. And is it beneficial for everyone? In my opinion, and from the studies that I have read, yes, but to certain extents. So most of you have a basis of a 12-hour intermittent fasting window. So if you eat dinner at 8, you're not going to eat again until 8 a.m. Okay. Why is that important? What 10, 12, is there a certain hour window? No, there's really not, but 12-hour window statistically has been proven to help with digestion. It's been proven to help with less inflammation in your system, and it gives your body ample amount of time to deal with everything that you did the day before to it, as far as nutritionally. So this 12-hour window is basically a fasting window. You wake up 12 hours later and then you eat. Now, some of you, I've pushed you to like a 14-hour window. Some of you have even gone to like a 16-hour window. Why would I do that? If you are an endurance runner or an athlete or actively competing against something, you will not have that ever as far as what you need to be doing, because your body it's demanding a lot more. However, if your goal is like, Jill, I want to lose some serious weight, I need to do some shock and awe to my body, I need to do some different things, or if we hit a plateau, that's when intermittent fasting, the longer windows really do come in. Let me kind of just tell you before we move on what happens is, so we get through this fasting portion and all of a sudden your body runs out of basically carbs, right? Any stored energy or anything like that that's easily accessible for the body. So what does that have to do? It has to switch over, has to switch systems, and it has to go straight to fat. That's the only resource it has. It's not going to break down your muscle. Okay, intermittent fasting there's been some things about that. It's not going to break down your window or your muscle because the window is not long enough. If you were fasting for like 4 days, then yes, you might have some muscle breakdown. But fat is the whole purpose of our bodies hanging on to fat is so that we can use it when we need it. And the only way that our bodies are going to dip into that fat is if we get into this fasting type of window. So sometimes I'll push you guys a little bit longer if we need to, so that your body can learn how to effectively dip into our fat and start using it as a resource. But like I said, if you're an endurance runner or an endurance athlete, or you have races on the schedule, or you're training for a half marathon, like the last thing that we need to do is be starving ourselves, because then energy is compromised. We actually need food immediately and food often. So does that make sense? Okay. So if I ever change your window, that's probably why, because we have a weight loss goal. Mainly weight loss goal is what intermittent fasting is for. Or if we deal with some type of plane, like I said, we're planing out and not making any progress. Deal? Okay, that's a little bit about intermittent fasting. Let's move on to protein. So I know we talk about protein like it's just everybody does. It's like this selling, you can sell protein, you can eat protein, and there's plant protein, whey protein, and animal protein, and all sorts of different protein. But like, actually, what is protein? So protein is actually, it's a long chain of amino acids. And you're like, oh, Jill, you learned all this stuff. Why are you even talking about amino acids to me? Well, I think it's actually super important because amino acids, there's 20 amino acids, okay, that make up protein, the protein that we eat, and 9 of them are essential. What does that even mean? It means that if we eat certain food that only has 7 of the essential amino acids, we can't build efficient skeletal muscle, which is our goal. We always want to be building muscle. We just do. Our bodies need it, makes us healthier, makes our metabolism rev, makes us age better. Like, everything about muscle should be our goal, even if we are endurance runners. And it makes it that much harder because we're catabolizing everything so much more as runners or bikers or like swimmers, who only do cardio. But muscle should always, always, always be our goal. And I will stress that forever. It is a basis of everything that I teach and all the statistics and everything that I've studied. Muscle is the most important. Okay. So if we need these 9 essential, out of the 20, we need these 9 essential amino acids to even build skeletal muscle. That means where we get our protein is kind of a big deal, right? Because not all protein has these essential amino acids. So if you're a plant-based food eater, it is going to be very hard for you to get these 9 essential amino acids because plant products do not have them. Okay, they have some, and you can find a couple of amino acids here and a couple of amino acids here. But so for a good example, to get the essential amino acids from chicken, you get all of them from chicken. It's a plant or animal-based product, right? And this is where I'm going with this. Most animal-based products, you can get all of your essential amino acids. Okay, but you would need 6 cups of quinoa to get enough of the essential amino acids that you would get in a small chicken breast. That's 6 cups. So metabolically, if you're thinking like I'm thinking, which I'm thinking you are, because I like how many times I just said thinking, but because we think macro, like 6 cups of quinoa is going to make our carb macros go like wacky do crazy, right? Like we'll never recover. I mean, that's like all of our carbs for like, I don't know, 2 days, who knows? But one little thing of chicken means that we get every part of that tricky amino acid branch chain that we need to build skeletal muscle. So I tell you that not because I'm opposed to plant-based eating. I think plant-based eating should be the majority of our diets. But I am telling you that if you are seeking protein and trying to only eat plant-based, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard to get your essential amino acids that way. Okay. So, I think that's a thing that diet culture or even that type of education, they don't tell you that, like plant-based this and no meat athlete or stop eating all the meat because it's like frying our environment or whatever. But like, there's health behind everything, not just selling a product or selling something or trying to make money. There's actual true health behind it. And that's kind of the true health behind the protein and things that I wanted you guys to understand. So again, what are some like proteins that you can eat where you'll get all of your essential amino acids to build actual skeletal muscle, which is what we want to do. That's what makes us most healthy. So eggs are a great source. So if you are plant-based, but you still are good with eggs, excellent, like number one choice, excellent. All of your essentials are there. Awesome. Okay. But any animal protein, so beef, chicken, whey protein powder, even all that type of stuff, you're going to get your essentials. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to kind of emphasize with protein is most people, and probably a lot of you before you came to see me, it was like, yeah, no, I totally eat protein. And I love having this conversation with people. It's like, no, Jill, no, I totally eat protein. Like I eat protein for breakfast and for lunch and for dinner. And I'm like, okay, awesome. So how much do you eat? And usually it's like 15 grams of protein for breakfast. They have a couple eggs or maybe a bacon. And then lunch, it's like a lunch meat, with like 2 pieces of lunch meat. And then dinner, it's like, I don't know, maybe they'll have a chicken breast or I don't know, something. Sometimes dinner is a little bit more, but like if you add up 15 plus 15 plus say like 25, that's nowhere close to where you guys are at, right? And the thing about protein that's super interesting and what they have found is that there's like a baseline of protein that you need to eat every single day just to maintain your muscle, not to grow muscle, just to maintain what you have. And it's different for everyone, but it's closer to the 1 gram of protein per body weight, healthy body weight. It's way more closer to that. So if you want to build muscle, not just maintain, if you just don't want to lose muscle, think how much, like the protein that you eat is super important. And that's why I do have a pretty good emphasis, even if you're an endurance athlete, especially if you're an endurance athlete, actually, on protein. Athletes in general, just breaking down everything in their body way faster, let alone muscle. So it's even that much more important. But if anything that I want you guys to think about and remember is that you have to eat a certain amount of protein just to maintain the muscle that you have, whether it's a lot or a little. Okay. So if you want to grow muscle, like your protein is that important. Okay. The other thing that is kind of interesting about plant-based protein is that you cannot get creatine. You guys have probably heard that word before, and I'll tell you what that is. You cannot get creatine from a plant-based protein at all. It doesn't even have creatine in it. Creatine comes from animal-based protein. Now we create our own amount of creatine, but what creatine does is it just makes your body super efficient and makes your muscles super efficient, and it allows strength to happen faster, and it allows the muscles to contract better and more efficiently and faster. And those things are important. Like if you are running and you want to feel good, or if you're lifting and you want to lift more, or all that movement type of thing. So that's another interesting thing that they have found, that plant protein just doesn't have that creatine principle to it. So you'd have to supplement. If you're only doing plant-based protein, you'd have to supplement with a creatine, which you could totally do that as well. So let's see. Does anybody have any questions about any of this at this point? It all makes sense.
Does fish have the essential amino acids as well?
Fish does. Seafood is awesome, actually, and will have all your essential amino acids. Yes.
Is there a type of animal-based protein that doesn't have it?
No, I don't think there is. I think depending on what the animal is, maybe some of the amino acids are higher, like leucine is higher in eggs than maybe it is in chicken, but you still get all 9 in there. So yeah, that's a great question. And I know it's kind of a tricky subject because I know it's hard to, and I honestly, like I said, I am not opposed to plant-based eating at all, because I think we should be eating mainly like that, but not so much for our protein. So if you struggle with eating the right kind of protein, we just need to talk about it a little bit more. It just gets tricky, and it just a little bit more supplementing, like vitamins, getting your vitamin B. That's another hard one to get if you're not eating meat. And then just probably like 8 other vitamins we really need to make sure that you're not deficient in. I don't think anybody here is so much plant-based, but I know a few of you have and prefer that type of eating as well. A couple of you that aren't here too. So, and that's okay. But yeah, that was kind of our discussion today. Just short and sweet, but hopefully informative for you guys. Okay.
Yeah, just a comment, like protein has been the hardest one for me recently to get. And I think that just to kind of reiterate what you said and just emphasize that if you're having trouble with protein and think that you're getting it all, you're not. Unless you're recording it and tracking it, you're not getting enough. Like I said, because you can feel like you're eating it all day, but then when you add it up at the end of the day, that's the one that's always short. And then you're like cramming a Premier Protein down at 10 o'clock at night trying to get some protein in, right? So it's like, for me, that's the hardest one. Fat and carbs are easy. Like you can blow through those
so fast.
Yeah, but anyway, but I just think if you have to track that one. Like if you don't track it, you'll never make the mark with, as far as your macro goals.
Yep. Such a good point. And kind of that protein balanced approach that we've talked about before, like really do think pre-workout, maybe a little bit of like a protein powder or something. I mean, try to get just spread it out throughout the day, 5 meals or 5 times that you're getting protein in the day, so that you're not catching up right at night, because that is the worst. Caitlin?
Kind of going off what Mark said, is there a certain amount of protein that you should not consume at once? Like your body's not going to utilize more than 30 grams at a time? I don't know if there's a specific number.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is that the case? Okay.
Yeah, I do think that that's the case. And I think the perfect amount they say is between 25 and 35. I think for some men, and it really depends on how much muscle you have on your body and stuff, you can go up higher, like 45. But yeah, there is too much protein to eat at one sitting to where it becomes protein. So don't forget, protein can be stored as fat. If your body is like, whoa, here's this overabundance of something, protein can actually be stored. Your body does not prefer that as a energy source, but it will store it. So if you eat too much at one time, yeah, it can be stored as a fat as well. That's why that trickle effect is really good throughout the day. And the trickle effect actually helps with rebuilding muscle more efficiently as well, because think your body's doing that all day long. It just doesn't just happen all at once from 8 to 9 p.m. right? It's kind of something that happens all throughout the day and the night as well. So yeah, good question. Any other questions? Okay, so just remember, oh, and just one last thing, the importance of protein as you age is so important. If you have parents, you guys, that are like older than you, that are frail, that, you know, like, teach them the importance of protein. It could benefit their life so much, because usually older people do not, you know, think about eating some chicken breast like for a snack. They just don't, right? They're like eating fruit and little dainty like salads and meals because they get full fast and their metabolism is way slower and stuff. But then what's the number one thing that is the issue for aging Americans is falls. They get hurt easy. They can't lift things anymore. Their spine is starting to curve because they don't have the muscle structure to hold themselves back. Like, aging is protein is so important for the aging person. So like, even after you're not an athlete anymore, even after you're not, you know, as active and moving, still keep protein as one of your number ones. Like, it needs to follow you forever. And it will help you longevity wise. It'll help you be a way more happy and strong, healthy aging person. So don't ever lose your protein focus. It'll benefit you forever. So, okay. Okay. Any other thoughts or comments? You guys are awesome. Way awesome. Okay, that's all I have. Let me know if you need anything. Update those trackers if you haven't got to them yet today. There was a few that like were a little quiet on there. So update your trackers. Okay, you guys. Okay,
Thanks,
have a
Jill.
good weekend. You bet.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See ya.